Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Existence SMP podcast for the month of June 2019. I'm your host, Vanillaraccoon, and with me, we are joined with Sandman and Monday. How are you guys doing today?
Good, how about you?
No complaints. Had a nice nature walk.
That's lovely.
It was pretty fun.
So I saw some pretty sights, took some pictures, chatted with a few people and all that jazz. But this podcast, we're going to be switching it up a little bit because for the viewers out there who don't know, I work multiple hustle jobs, and one of them is I drive for the rideshare service that is known as Lyft. And every night I get to talk about the joys of doing YouTube and being a YouTuber, all that fun stuff. But occasionally I get asked quite a few questions, and I thought in this podcast we could discuss them.
That was good.
Okay. So the first question that I get commonly asked is, if you could go to any Minecraft convention, which would you go to? Sandman?
I'm not really too big on or too knowledgeable on the different Minecraft conventions. I know there's Minecon, which I don't think exists anymore. And then there's Mindfair that you used to go to. So I would probably say that one, because that's the only like Minecraft convention that I know exists. Unless if I could be wrong.
What was that? Say that one more time. I was checking on something about conventions. You got me interested. I wanted to check something out real quick.
Yeah, so I don't know, because I know Minecon was a thing. And then I think they converted that from being a physical convention to more of an online type of like streaming event. So that's pretty easy to go to, because all you have to do is just go on to like YouTube or Twitch or Minecraft.net or Mixer, whatever live streaming platform. But a physical convention that's actually out there, I believe the only one that I'm aware of is Mindfair, which is the one that you went to, or that you were going to around the country.
I went to plenty of those.
Yeah, so that'll probably be I guess that's a convention. So that's one that I would go to.
Okay. And what about you, Monday?
I'm not too big of convention sort of thing, but I don't know if there even exists in Sweden, but I suppose there is. I don't know.
Okay, so I just did a quick little search and everything. So for those of you who don't know, Mindfair is a official community Minecraft event. It's not hosted or managed by Mojang, but it does have their approval to have like Minecraft stuff there. And occasionally some Mojangsters will visit each convention just to walk around and make sure everything's up to brand or whatever. But Mindvention is a convention that I do believe is over in the England, Ireland area. I don't know if they go into Europe per se, but I at least would love to attend a Mindvention just to see what the equivalent is to Mindfair. But also, fun fact, Mindfair, the one that goes around the country throughout the year, is actually the largest gaming convention, if I'm not mistaken. Fun fact.
That doesn't surprise me, because I think the only one that could probably beat it would be Fortnite, but that's dwindling, the popularity in that game.
So yes.
I think if they had a convention where that game first came out, it would beat Minecraft, but Minecraft has been building a steady audience and is continuing to build, while Fortnite was more just it came out, it's awesome, and then now it's just kind of I wouldn't say it's dying, but it's not as big as what it was. But yeah,
it's losing its traction.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those fads almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely believe that Mindfair is definitely the largest gaming convention currently.
I actually want to just not paraphrase, but take that back slightly. It's the largest gaming convention for one single game. I'm pretty sure like PAX or TwitchCon or whatever that is called. Is more larger than Mindfair.
Right.
Alrighty then. Okay. So aside from telling people like I'm a family-friendly gaming content creator who plays Minecraft, teaches people how to build stuff in Minecraft, blah blah blah. Uh, I get like asked, have I ever met anyone popular or someone famous within the Minecraft community? And actually, I can say yes, thankfully, because of Mindfair and partying with some of these people even. But one question I always get asked is, who is someone in the Minecraft community you would like to meet and hang out with? Sandman?
Um, there's definitely a lot. First one that comes to mind, BOO for sure. And
Okay.
I you know, he lives in the same state as me. We both live in Michigan, not too far away from me, but huge inspiration for building. And there's just something about him. I know my intro is heavily inspired by his, but there's just something about him that is just very attractive, I should say, to audiences who love Minecraft. I know he's huge. So he's definitely someone that I would love to meet. Wells Knight for sure. Actually, I would like to meet him in person. I did talk to him before on Discord. I used to be a Patreon of his, so I did talk to him like we are right now on Discord. So that was really cool. And then some of the other hermits would be cool, like Rendog or Azuma. But mainly just Wells Knight and BOO.
Interesting. How about you, Mundy, if you have anyone that you would like to meet from the Minecraft community?
Yeah, I was going to say like any of the hermits, really, because that's the only one I know about.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
He lives in Sweden.
Who?
That's right, he does.
Yep.
Who?
Isco.
85.
Oh, he lives in Sweden? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a Swede.
He is a Swede. And you know, there's a lot of other people too. I just want to quickly add on. There's a lot of other people too that I want to meet. Not outside of Hermitcraft as well, you know. People from like the DV crew, like Mythical Sausage, Nashcrafter, Whip, Pixel Riffs, a lot of them as well. So the list of Minecrafters that I would like to meet, and of course I would like to meet everybody on Existence as well in person. But there's just a lot of people on my list that I would like to meet, but at the top it's going to be B-Dubs and Wells Knight.
That's interesting. So I guess if there's anyone from the Minecraft community that I would like to meet, obviously to piggyback off of what you said, everyone from the Existence SMP and also everyone from the Existence SMP community in the community Discord server. But I think for the most part, the only one that I can really think of is Corrales, because he's the guy who pretty much sold me into actually trying out Minecraft. And it was his, what's it called? Minecraft Inspiration Series with Andy as Yoda.
Yep.
Who is, I guess, someone else that I would like to meet and everything. But he too, like Isco, is a Swede. But I definitely would also have to say my main man, Wintergrave, over in Mexico, because ever since we first met back on the Lake Laogai server, we've just hit it off very nicely, and it's at the point now where if I were to go out to Mexico, he said that I could stay with him, and vice versa. So that's pretty cool. But of the all of the famous people that I've met and hung out with, I'm gonna have to say False was pretty cool, and
You met her?
uh-huh. She actually recognized me back in Mindfair Chicago last year. Quick story.
Oh.
At the end of day one, all the All-Stars and Rising Stars got together, and she was walking beside your MC admin who lives not that far from me, and we're supposed to get lunch at some point soon. She walked right up to me and said, "Hey, I know you." And I'm like, "Keep it together. Don't fangirl. Don't squeal like a pig." So I was just like, "I remember you too." And she said, "You were at Mindfair DC last year?" I'm like, "No." She was like, "Then Philadelphia." "Yep. Okay, I thought so. I remember you because of your ears." I'm like, Oh, because of my ears. And for those of you who don't know, I have gauges. I'm currently sitting at a size whatever is beneath an inch at this point. I'm on the fence of going to a full inch, but that's besides the point. So
I'll just
got to
try to throw stuff through your gauges, see if I can.
Oh man, a couple of nights ago when I was out with some people, that was fun. Anyways, but no, she was cool to hang out with for that one bit. And then I got to give a huge shout out to my space dust degenerate friends and everything who I met back at Mine Fair San Diego. They're Minecraft marketplace partners. I think I got the term correct. Anyways, there's some pretty cool people. They're map makers, all that jazz, and yeah. To top it off, Corrales and everyone from the Existence community, and Wintergrave. Moving on, we have another question that is, what's your favorite thing that you have done in Minecraft? Of all the things we've done in Minecraft, what would you say is your favorite one? Sandman?
That's a tough question.
It is.
This is probably going to be very, very weird, but I'm going to go with it.
I like weird.
Who doesn't like weird? There's a little bit of some uniqueness to weirdism, I should say. It was when I first started. When I first started out, I mentioned this back in a couple, like I think it was episode 4 of season 3, and pretty much the 10-year anniversary video that I put out. And I talked about how I got into Minecraft and I first started. I discovered the game through a computer support class. It was at a local community college that I went to through my high school. And they got me into that game because we were learning how to create a LAN network. And I started playing that after the school, the class got done. And I started playing and I started building up this world. The buildings compared to now are just absolutely hideous. They're just horrible. Everything was made out of spruce wood. I didn't even, it was back in, I think the 1.5 beta version that I was playing in, but the buildings were absolutely horrible looking. There was no landscaping, just completely hideous. But I would say that world is probably, and unfortunately I deleted it and I regret it because I wanted to keep that world. But that wasn't on a full release of the game. It was actually on a pirated version of the game. So I don't think I would be able to take that world in and put it in the actual real game. But I regret not keeping that world, or at least the seed, because I really love the seed. But that, as horrible as building as what it was, I was using stone tools. I was playing in peaceful mode because I was afraid of the mobs, and it was a complete disaster of a world. But I loved it so much because I took a lot of pride in it. It was my first world that I was building up, and that, even though it was a disaster of a world, it's my favorite world that I've ever played in. So that's probably my favorite thing that I've done in Minecraft, is building up that really horrible looking eyesore of a world. But yeah, that's probably my favorite thing that I've done in Minecraft.
I will say this, just to add a quick comment to that one. Well, you can try. I have faith in you. Just a real quick before you start off, to make a few comments. One, I think when we all first started playing Minecraft, we all had that one world that we consider to be an eyesore, but also at the same time, I at least believe that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So what may look horrible to you may look phenomenal to someone else.
Right. Absolutely. Hey. That is true. Because we're our own worst critic. So I'll say, and I see this a lot, like, especially through the community and with my Bone Creek series, people will say, oh my God, your builds are just gorgeous or awesome. And I'm like, I think they can be better. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of truth to that. For sure, but this was insane, like insanely horrible.
So Monday, how are you gonna?
Oops, sorry.
How are you gonna top that?
Well, I won't. I don't really think that I. Oh gosh. I don't know. I don't really have anything that I can consider my favorite thing that I've done in Minecraft. No.
I can name something that's my favorite thing that you've done.
Okay.
That single player series of yours.
Oh.
I was absolutely digging that series, and I'm still waiting for it to come back.
Oh.
No pressure.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was
Okay,
loving that world.
Well, thank you. Well, okay, then my answer is the same as Sandman's.
It never hurts to piggyback.
No.
Just saying, especially when they're not wrong. So, so obviously because I get asked this question a lot, I'm sort of prepared to answer it. But after hearing Sandman's throwback to his 10-year anniversary video, I would have to say my favorite thing that I've done in Minecraft is going to be back in my one single player series, World of Raccoons. I forget which season it was. It was either season 1 or season 2, but I was just in the groove of like taking things from history and bringing it into Minecraft. And I wasn't just going to be like, oh, we're going to build this ancient Greek city state. Instead, I actually offered history lessons of different temples and forms that my builds were loosely based off of. At one point, because I'm a Mayan, which are basically Native Americans who went south for a better tan, we stayed by the equator. Uh, because I had known nothing about my culture or where I came from, because I'm adopted, 6 months of age, I decided to go ahead and just start doing thorough research on the Mayan culture. And so each time I made a video of like, oh, we're going to build this sporting arena, we're going to build this temple, we're going to build this structure, I would also begin to throw in some educational twists. And that's also one way how I sort of got into the Minecraft education scene, but that was like shortly lived. So yeah, but stepping out of my comfort zone and building stuff from in real life and then providing historical lessons just to educate the viewers, that's my favorite thing that I've done in Minecraft, which is actually something that I'm trying to get back into with something that's going to be starting up fairly soon, but going to have to wait and see with that one.
Awesome. That sounds really fun. I know that was something that you brought up before the season 3 started when we were thinking about.
Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned like, what if we do bases and we pick something, and then kind of make it educational, which I really love that idea. And that I kind of took that, kind of spun with it a little bit with my farmstead. So, yeah, I really like that, and I definitely want to get into something like that too as well. I think that's a pretty cool idea.
I'm just a guy who has random thoughts, and sometimes I act on them.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't, which is probably good. So, so the fourth question that I get commonly asked is, it's kind of a two-part question, I guess you could say, where what's your favorite part about doing YouTube and what's your least favorite part? Sandman?
All right. So, my favorite part about doing YouTube, and this is kind of hard because I haven't been doing YouTube for that long. Well, I guess 7-8 months now.
Wait, you said 7-8 months?
Months, yeah, 7 or 8 months, maybe 9 months. I've been doing YouTube. And
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely flown by for sure. Now, I really can't say. I know my least favorite part of it is having this is more on me. This really isn't a requirement. But sticking to a deadline when you have so much going on in life, for me, back when I started, I was living with my parents and working full time, all that, going to school full time, but I didn't have a lot of the responsibilities that I have now. Since I moved out and moved into my own home, so I have a lot more going on. I have a lot more responsibilities, that I need to take on a daily basis. So it's a lot more difficult to get videos out in a timely manner. So that's probably my least favorite part, is having to balance out, but that's more of a personal thing. That's not really a YouTube thing. But probably my favorite part is honestly just content creation, is just creating, something, creating videos, taking an idea, making it a reality, and then sharing it with the community. That's probably my favorite part of it, and that's a pretty basic answer. But like I said, I really haven't been into YouTube that long to come up with something a lot more specific. So I think just taking something that I have in my head and then making a reality within a video and sharing it, saying, "Hey, here's what I made." And then getting the responses back, and especially since day one, I don't think I got one negative comment on anything, which is absolutely amazing in my opinion. So just getting the reactions that I've gotten, that's probably my favorite part of doing YouTube.
Nice.
Oh, I guess it's my turn now, huh?
Yeah, we're kind of following a pattern of Sandman, you, and
Yeah.
then me last.
Yeah, but to answer the question, like, I don't know. My favorite part is definitely like meeting all of you guys, and like, yeah, that's my favorite part at least. And then, oh yeah, and the I don't know. I just enjoy editing, I guess. So I find that relaxing. And my least favorite part, I don't know really. I just wish that I could, well, have more time to record and edit, that so I don't feel bad about not recording and editing and uploading as much as I would like that.
Yeah, that was kind of my least favorite part of YouTube answer as well. Just not getting the time to upload as much as we want, because I would love to post videos every single day.
Yeah, I mean,
I would just love to sit back and just record and put videos up, but I can't, with especially now with school being over with, not being in school, that's definitely freed up a lot of my time, but I still don't have enough time to do as much as I want. But it is what it is, and that's more of a personal, aspect of doing YouTube.
yeah.
So, once again, to piggyback off of yous, I think my number one favorite part about like doing YouTube is just being able to meet people with similar, if not common, interests, and just getting to know each other outside of the whole like in real life spectrum. Like, there's always someone out there that's going to be interested in something you're interested in, and that's something I really like to stress when I talk to people about this stuff, because sometimes people will say something like, "Oh, I like this, but I'm pretty sure no one else does," and I'll say, "You don't know that for sure." Um, the second thing that I like about doing YouTube is, and I've said this from the very start, back on January 26th in 2014, and that is creating content is like my artistic way to express myself. It's how I get whatever I'm thinking or feeling out of me, whether it's through editing or it's the content itself that I'm creating. For example, when a couple years ago I was going through a rough patch and I was making these Halo 5 Guardians montage videos, I sort of came up with a storyline to tell how I was feeling in that moment. And it was pretty well received, which was also a plus. But when it comes to Minecraft, because I grew up playing with Legos, Forever 21 plus 5 still playing with Legos. That's between you and I, though. It's like, I don't know. I just look at stuff in real life, or I see stuff in movies or shows or even other video games, and I'll think to myself, how can I recreate this in Minecraft? So it's also a way for me to challenge myself and step out of my comfort zone and just take an idea, make it happen, move on to the next one, which is something that I like to think I'm good at, but eh. The least favorite thing though that I have, it's got to be the editing, just because it's so time consuming. It's very time consuming. Like I've had so many people say like, "Oh, if your video is only 15 minutes and it's 3 clips or whatever, like 5 minutes each, can't you just stitch them together?" It's like, "No, I can't. I mean, I could do that, but I'd rather not. I would rather take my footage, whether it's Minecraft or non-Minecraft, color correct it. In case you didn't notice, I do that with my videos, even Minecraft. And then like I'll carefully watch every clip that I recorded, and I was just like go into this deep state of mind and try and figure out what's the perfect track to have as the background music. Because I wanted to also fit like the tone of that clip, not just the whole video, but each clip individually. And that's sometimes a hassle. Like I'm still working on my next video that I just started last Monday, back in the end with Monday. Like I've not finished that episode, and it's been a week now, only because like I'm in this no pun intended, but I'm in this creative block where I don't know like how to further that video, so to speak.
Yeah, no, and I get that all the time at work being a graphic designer, and I perfectly understand how you feel, because it's just the most frustrating thing in the world. And I had this earlier this week, working on a graphic for a blog for a radio DJ, and I just could not think of anything. And it's so frustrating, because this is like your job, this is your responsibility, and it's like I can't think of anything. It's just extremely frustrated. And I never had that problem though with editing, but definitely for sure editing is very tedious for me, I think. And I've never done any color corrections or audio enhancement work or anything. I just put in the recording and just clip out the boring parts, put it all together, and just add effects to it, background music and video transitions, and call it good. So it's not too bad, but just like you said, having the wanting to have every single second of it be perfect, and I completely understand. I applaud you for that, because you care about your content. And if you care about your content, so will your audience. So, but having that creative block is just extremely annoying. It's very frustrating. So I totally get that.
So, because we loosely talked about this and recently, I'm just gonna save the next question for last and jump into the last question, which is something I think the viewers should definitely be aware of how we handle it as content creators and broadcasters, and that is like exactly how do you handle negativity online, whether it's a mean comment, someone tweeting at you, someone joining your Discord server and spamming inappropriate stuff. Like, how do you handle that?
For me personally, I've been fortunate to not have any hardly any negativity whatsoever in my comment section or the chat for live streaming, Twitter, Discord, or anything like that. I've had some instances where I've had some in quote sassy people come in, and I know one I really don't want to call people out, and I really don't want to do that. But some people will comment back and comment on something that I said, and when I said something and I did something different, I know I'm kind of saying that I'm a hypocrite. But for instance, my single player series I mentioned in my first episode, that's going to be my forever world. And then I quit that series, I ended it, and I'm starting a new world. I got called out on that, and which is fair, but for me, just handling negativity is just in real life. Is just consider the source. I take it as a way to learn, to grow, to become better. Handling just negative, like just mean spirited, whatever insults. For me being younger, it was really difficult for me handling that younger, or when I was younger. because I took that as an insult to myself, to my character, and a lot of people are dealing with this now from what I'm seeing, looking out at the community, not specifically the community, but just society in general. A lot of people take insults personally, and they react upon it, which, you know, is typical for a human. But it took me a long time to let things go, and my dad taught me something that it's a horse has been beaten to death by this, and figuratively, I should say. And it's really annoying, but there's a lot of truth to it, and that is kick grass over it and move on. If someone's being negative and someone's being mean to you and insulting you or doing all this, and I see it a lot. Consider the source. Who cares? That's their opinion, and like I say, everybody has one. They're like, you know, they all stink. So, you know, just consider the fact, hey, they have opinion, they have the right to state it. You know, just don't let it get to you. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it sucks, but you know, it doesn't stop me, and I had to learn that. It took me a long time to learn that, but for me, just in daily life, I kick grass over it. I move on. Just like, yep, that's your opinion. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Whatever helps you look in the mirror. If that's degrade me as a human, so be it. But I know who I am. I know what I've done. I stick by what I've done. I say what I mean what I say. And if you don't like it, tough. Deal with it. So, yeah, and I don't have a lot of sympathy for people like that. So, you know, I know I come across as a little harsh, but that's just reality. You know, deal with it.
The classic "let bygones be bygones" type of
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Well,
sorry.
no, I was just gonna say I can't imagine of all people you, the Swede, having to deal with negativity on your stuff. But
No,
go
I've
ahead.
been I've been fortunate enough to not receive negativity. So I don't know, like I don't know, but just much in real life, I guess I just stick to myself. And everyone's got an opinion, and everyone's allowed to have an opinion, but you don't have to be rude about it. But
And you know, it comes with a saying too when I grew up. And this is a very powerful rule that a lot of people, I think, I feel like I woke up one day and this rule just didn't exist. And it
Oh
goes hand in
boy.
hand with another rule, and it drives me crazy. But it goes with the saying, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. Um and or the exact way is, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's the golden rule. And it goes hand in hand with treat others the way you want to be treated. So
yeah, I was just about to say.
yeah, I'm really good with putting myself in other people's shoes and to understand how they're feeling. Hey, how would you feel? Okay, how would I feel if someone said this to me? And I honestly answered not so good. So let's just not say it. And I just feel like a lot with social media that's empowered a lot of people to say a lot of negative stuff. YouTube, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. To allow people to say a lot of mean stuff without having to face the consequences of them saying it. Now, they do have the right to say it, you know, as horrendous as it may be, but, you know, like Mundy said, you know, why say it? You know, if you have nothing nice to say, why say it? What's the point in saying something mean if someone turns around and says something mean to you and you don't like it? So it's just, you know, I feel like that I just woke up one day, because when I was younger, back growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, people weren't nearly as negative to other people as what they were, but we didn't have the internet, barely. So as social media came about and as it grew, a lot of people became more negative because they weren't taught that principle. So I think if a lot of people learn that, then the negativity will go away, which is ultimately, I think, what everybody wants, to have more of a nicer, peaceful, inclusive community.
Yeah.
Hmm. So this is not my own original saying, but it's one that I heard through a friend, and I loved it so much that like I'll say it often, I guess. And that's the world is full of good people, and if you look around and cannot find one, then step up and be one. With that being said, I've in my 2014, 19, 5, yeah, in my 5 years here on YouTube, I've had plenty of quote unquote haters come at me from multiple directions and at random. Like they would just randomly start coming at me, and I'm like, I don't even know who you people are. Whose community are you coming from, or whatever? Especially when I would live stream on YouTube gaming. It came to a point where I would have to actually turn off the chat and be like, all right, obviously, we have more than one person who's going to ruin something good for us. So enjoy the stream, blah, 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 all that fun jazz. But the way I see it, and this is because, I was a psych major in college, whatever, going for my doctorates. And as I always say, the 24/7 psychologist in me would have a field trip trying to figure this stuff out. It's, I always look at it like, okay, you're either having a rough moment or you're going through a rough time and you are just trying to find someone that you think is more vulnerable than you to lash out at and everything. And so if there's anything that I can do to try and help you feel better about yourself or what's going on and move on from whatever rough thing is going on in your life, then I'm here to help you. Uh, that's not to say that I'll always be there for everyone, because at some point you have to like just, cut the toxicity out of your life. Uh, but the way that I used to handle negativity online was that I would give in to the whole like, oh, your content sucks, or oh, you're a horrible YouTuber. And I would be like, who are you to tell me this, whatever. It came to a point where someone told me, and this is actually a dear friend of mine, she told me the best way to win an argument is to not engage at all. And I had to learn that over time and everything, but it's definitely true. And um, especially if you're a younger person who's just starting out with doing YouTube or streaming on Twitch or Mixer, and this is something that all of my Mindfair family would tell, is that if you're a younger person, like we'll say under the age of 12, and you're starting a YouTube channel or streaming, you want to make sure that you have your parents involved as much as possible. So that way, if you see or hear something, you can tell them, and then they'll try and like figure out how to move on from there. Or even better yet, let the parents take care of the social media aspect and everything. So that way, the younger person doesn't have to then learn how to handle with the negativity online. That's not to say to like uh, shelter them from it. It's just a way to get around it without having to face it head on, so to speak. If that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. But for me personally, having kids someday, they ain't gonna be on social media till they turn 18.
Oh, I'm right there with you, buddy.
I hate social media. I hate it. I only use it. I can say that I'm addicted to Facebook. I hate it. It's an addiction. I'm trying to break it. I only use Twitter mainly to post videos and all that. But it's something that I think is being abused, and the negativity is getting out of control, in my opinion. But I could just be looking at the glass half empty. I don't really see a lot of good in it. I see a lot more negativity than I do positivity. In the community, in the Minecraft community that we're all in, I see a lot of positivity. I see some negative comments once in a while, but I see a lot of positive in the Minecraft community that I'm involved in. I know there's, special people that, try to ruin the fun. But overall, it seems to be pretty good. But overall, in society on social media, it's not too good. So, and for me, commenting on what you said, having the parents involved, it all depends on how old the kid is. Definitely, I wouldn't, and this is just my opinion. A lot of people will probably disagree with me, but I wouldn't let a kid under 13 be on social media.
Pretty sure
And
nowadays some of these social media say you have to be at least 14 to have a profile count.
yeah, at least 14.
I know this one girl who I met back at Mindfair San Diego, who's I call her my biggest fan because we also play Pogo together and everything, and we talk every day. But I know, like, for the longest time, she would comment on my videos saying, like, I can't wait until I turn this age so then I can make a Discord account and join your Discord server, like my personal one. And I'm like, hey, good things come to those who wait. And then her mom, who reached out to me on Instagram, said, like, yeah, she's really excited to make a Discord account so she can join your Pokemon Go Discord server that I'm a part of and everything that has all these other amazing YouTubers in. And I'm like, hey, good things come to those who wait. But not to get like too deep and philosophical because I could go on an endless rant with this one. Quite recently, I was asked by a friend. She's someone that I talk with like pretty much every day, and we're good friends, all that jazz. We hang out occasionally. But she asked me like, what's something that I noticed about today's generation and the generation after us and social media? Like, where do you think it's going? And I just flat
yeah,
out said
don't get me
it could either
started.
go really good or it could go really bad. It's a matter of moderation and also like how many. I don't want to say adults because that could be like interpreted loosely, but how many positive figures in their lives can help them manage with what it's like to be on social media.
Mm-hmm. And I just don't think a
But
lot of people are taught how to act on social media. I think a lot of people find it as a gateway to be negative, and that's just, you know, I don't want to say it's in our nature, but I just don't think people know how to handle it. And especially with social media, you're a lot more exposed to a lot of other opinions, and we're starting to get off track here, but I just don't think a lot of people our generation and younger know how to deal with it. So the only way that they know how to deal with it is to act out, lash out, and say something negative. I think that's just the child in them, essentially. So I think that's a lot of what has to do with it. Because they either see something that they don't agree with or they don't like or they're not used to, and then they get defensive. And that's just the best way for them to react upon it. So I think if parents slowly introduce it to them and teach them, hey, you know, when you're participating in social media, the same rules of what you live by face to face is the exact same of what you're on in social media. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. And if you have nothing nice to say to a person on Twitter, don't post it. Don't reply. So I think if a lot of people learn that, you know, it would be a whole lot better. I think the negativity will slowly fade out. And you're still going to have negativity. You'll never get rid of it, but it can definitely be a whole lot better.
Yeah. So I guess since we kind of like focused heavily on that question, moving on to possibly the final one. I don't know how we're doing on time here. With everything that we've talked about, like our own personal insight with YouTube and Minecraft and all this stuff, exactly what got you into doing YouTube? I know, Sandman, you kind of loosely talked about it when you referenced your 10-year anniversary video, but do you have anything more to expand on that?
For me, I have a really bad memory and I can't remember what I said in that 10-year anniversary video. So yeah, no, I've been wanting to do YouTube for quite a while, since pretty much when you started. If I actually did it, our channels would be probably the exact same age. It took me about 4 years to get the courage to turn my mic on and actually like commentate when I started playing. But what really got me into it is I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to, well, let's put it this way. For me, it got to a point where I was building up worlds, and it's like, what's the point of building this world with so much lore, with so much detail, all this stuff, and, well, I wouldn't say so much detail, if I can't share it, or if I'm not going to. Like, what's the point? What's the point in playing this game if I can't share it with the community and learn upon it? and learn from others, talk to others, all this stuff. So I decided, hey, it's something that I wanted to do. I feel like it gave me a purpose of playing this game, and honestly, I think it kept me honest because I kept starting a world, deleting it, starting a world, deleting it, starting a world, deleting it, so on and so forth. So I think YouTube kept me honest with starting worlds, finishing them out, and of course, huge hypocrite here with my single player series. But I think it kept me honest. It gave me a purpose to play the game again. Because when I was playing with my first world that I mentioned, that was my favorite part of the game. I was playing that with my cousin, who is a huge Minecraft fan. Not the same cousin that I shouted out in my last existence video. It's the other side of the family. And that gave me a sense of purpose to continue that world. And then once we quit kind of playing together, I really didn't have a purpose. I was kind of just playing for myself, and I really kind of lost my motivation to play the game. So I think having, the ability to play the game, share it with people, and having that reaction to, seeing the same people over and over again in the comment section saying, "Oh my God, I love this build. Keep up the good work. Can't wait for the next episode." It gives me that sense of purpose, keeps me honest, and it gives me that drive to continue to do it. And I've grown to love doing YouTube. So that's really why I kind of got into it, was to continue on sharing my worlds and my builds with other people, giving me a purpose to continue playing the game.
Okay.
And for like my answer to the question, I guess. Like I know I don't know how when I started watching like really like Minecraft Let's Play on YouTube, but like I enjoyed watching them and I enjoyed playing the game, and I thought that, hey, why don't I do that? Because like I did some sim stuff before, but I never like commented it. I just did time lapses and sort of things. But it was first when I started my Minecraft channel that I actually started using my voice, so to say.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. So, sort of to piggyback off of what you said there, Monday. Like, as I mentioned earlier, I would watch Corrales and his Minecraft inspiration series with Andy as Yoda. And at that time, I had just started playing Minecraft on the Xbox 360 edition with my childhood friends. And it came to a point where uh, my former girlfriend, or this girl that I was seeing at the time, she kind of like pushed me into doing it. She said something like you're a very creative person. You obviously enjoy watching these videos. I watch you play with your Legos and you can make some really interesting stuff. Why not try and make a house in Minecraft and then make a video showcasing it or whatever? And I was like, I don't know about that. And this was when I was using a QuickTime player on my late 2013 iMac desktop, and I was using my Apple headphones with the microphone in it. Horrible quality. Video is still up on my channel. Don't watch it. Don't comment on it.
Everybody watch it. Let's get 1 million views on that video.
Oh god. But and like I just remember like showcasing the build. I think it's either a showcase video or a tutorial. But during it, like I was so unsure as to like what to say, so I ended up just talking about a date that we recently went on. And from there it just started to snowball where like people were saying, "Oh, you actually are a nice builder. Oh, you say you watch Corrales? I too watch Corrales. I can see how you're inspired uh by him with your builds and everything." And it came to a point where I was like, okay, I'm at 100 subscribers and I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks. The next thing you know, it's like, okay, I'm officially a YouTube partner. I can monetize my videos. And it's only been maybe a month or 2 months or so, back when you could easily become a partner and everything. Not like how it is today. But uh, knock on my wooden desk, that doesn't change anytime soon. But I don't know, with each little, I guess you could say, milestone that I accomplished, it's just continued to inspire me to keep doing YouTube. And at some point, it was like, okay, obviously, in the postmodern day and age that we live in, this is a way that you can make a career out of something if you're fortunate enough. Not everyone makes it. Uh, but if there's any way that I can try and make a change in the world, for example, the Extra Life charity organization that I'm working with, which is a year-round campaign from January 1st to December 31st, then hey, that's really one reason why I want to keep doing YouTube, is to just try and leave memories and leave change in the world, so to speak. And also because it's still an artistic way to express myself and meet new people.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one thing too for me, is that my goal was to, what I said originally was to keep myself honest, to play the game and not to, you know, what I said earlier, but a goal that developed was to always put a smile on someone's face, to always make someone happy. And if I can leave one person happy from watching my videos, they've done its job. And I think it's working. I sincerely think it's working. So, yeah, so that's another reason to keep going.
Real quick, before we begin to wrap things up here and everything, so I recently started using that silly app called Ask FM. And for those of you who don't know, basically, if you've always wanted to ask someone a question, but you were too shy or nervous to do so, you can do so either anonymously, which means the person won't know who asked it. It's just going to say someone has a question for you, blah, blah, blah. But someone asked me, and I think I know who it is actually, but someone asked me, how has my online life influenced my in real life? And I basically said, it's funny you mention that because it's helped me stay humble, stay true to thyself so that I can be of service to other people. And that's, in the long run, one reason why I do YouTube. But with all of that being said, I do think it's time to wrap things up and everything. So any last thoughts or comments you want to make?
That was a pretty interesting podcast with the new topics. I know we didn't really talk much about the server or 1.14.2 and 0.3 coming up, but it was a really interesting podcast. We need to definitely do more of these, I think.
I figured it would be a nice way to give our viewers and a little bit more of a glimpse or insight into how we as content creators and broadcasters perceive things. And
yeah, absolutely.
So with that being said, at least, unfortunately, we're going to have to begin to wrap things up. But before we do so, I would like to just read off a nice thank you for the lovely patrons or the supporters that we have here. And they are Sandman, TheMundane, Sugarcaney, TC Midnight, Delta, Pineapple _123, ACG 1000, K-Source, M-Source, okay, iGalaxy, ATM 2222, Lord of the Undead, love that name. I Need Help, lovely name.
I'll be there to rescue you.
How can I leave a damsel in distress behind?
No, it's all good fun.
My dyslexia is gonna butcher this name completely, but Gragons, Torbray, It's Purple J, McKean Jake, Diamond XO Lot 1, and of course Duo Get Wrecked. Thank you all so much for being patrons. And my name is Vanillaraccoon. You can find me through a simple search, Vanillaraccoon, on all social medias. Sandman, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at CSandmanTS1. You can also find me on YouTube of YouTube/C/CSandmanTS1. Also, you can find me on Twitch, CSandmanTS1.
Alrighty. And Mundy, where can people find you?
At Twitter, TheMundaneYT, and I don't have a URL yet.
You'll get it. You'll get it for sure. Don't worry.
Am I the only one that has an actual custom URL?
like a legitimate URL, www.vanillaraccoon.com. Yes, you do.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, you can find me across social media as Vanillaraccoon. I made sure to secure that name. But like Sandman said, my YouTube channel is http://vanillaraccoon.com. And remember, peeps, the world is infinite, so let's get our build on. Thank you for tuning in.